Hello there. So I'm going to talk about the industry analysis. We're going to talk about competitors, customers, and supply and the chain suppliers. 3 C's. My name is Brenda Alvarez, and if you have any questions or anything about these presentations, you can contact me. Okay, let's start with the chain suppliers. The chain suppliers analysis, this is a tool for identifying growth opportunities related to a given industry within a region. So by understanding the way the industry fits into its overall supply chain, the region can begin to make strategic decisions about the types of industry it should seek to attract, retain, or help expand. So over here I put like a wood fuel supply chain that is used in Scotland. So this is how they use it. They with the sun they grow their wood. They first planted the energy crops. Then the second part is the roadside shipping. Then they will ship it and put it in water and make the fuel. Then they will be harvesting, and they will be there. This is going to be a terminal shipping, and they will work it out so they can make the fuel. And over here is the wood co-products. So they will cut it up and make houses or tables or whatever to make the fuel. So top supply chains 2017. Let's check it out first. And number one, we have Apple, of course. Number two, Procter and Gamble. Number three, Amazon. Number four, Unilever. Unilever, we know it more for because one of their brands inside Unilever is Dove, the soap that we were talking about in class. Number five, McDonald's. They mastered this kind of supply chains. That's the only way they can survive with their cheap prices. Um, Number six, Inditex. Inditex is very famous because of the store from Spain, Zara, that is now worldwide. We have number seven, Cisco. Number eight, H&M. Number nine, Intel. Number 10, Nestle. So what about our competitors? What is a competitor? Let's start by that. A company in the same industry or a similar industry which offers a similar product or service. So there are different kind of competitors. According to this slide, there are four kinds of competitors, and we can measure them depending on their market commonality, if they are targeting the same market segment, or the resource similarity, if they have more resource or less resource than you. So the companies that have the same resources and they're targeting the same market, your direct competitors. We have Pepsi versus Coke as an example. So second quadrant, we have your indirect competitors that they will be targeting the same segment market, the people that likes to eat outside. However, the resource is not similar at all. Applebee's and McDonald's. Has a little bit different price, and they have a little bit different variety of food. As for example, a direct competitor of McDonald's will be Burger King, for example. Let's see quadrant number 4. You have your potential competitor. What happened? Any competitor that could actually satisfy the same need that you are satisfying could be a potential competitor. For example, a caterer and a local restaurant. They both serve food. So they're different services, but the main need, the need behind it, is to feed you. So that's a potential competitor. He could grow up and he could make his own local restaurant. Quadrant number 3, no competitors, because they do not have the same target market and do not have the same resources. So it's not a competitor. The difference between direct and indirect competitors. Direct competitors have similar products and revenue goals. Indirect competitors have similar products and different revenue goals. Direct competitors have strategic choice of one firm directly affects the performance of the other one. For example, I don't know if you noticed, but most of the fast food chains like to be near each other. That's one of the location strategies that we will see later on in another week. But however, if you have a Kentucky in front of McDonald's and suddenly McDonald's lower their products half price, that affects directly Kentucky that is across the street from them. Okay? Indirect competitors, it will be if they could make a strategic choice of one firm that affects the performance of the other because of a strategic reaction by a third firm. So they will need like something else to happen. Like if I make I make a decision, it will not affect directly that other company. But if I make a decision and there is a third party involved that makes him makes an impact in their revenue, then it is an indirect competitor. I could explain this more in person in class. If you need more explanation here, I would like you to send me a comment or something if you do not understand very well this part. Let's see examples. We have a direct competitor. I already mentioned Coca-Cola and Coke and Pepsi. Now we have over here Nike and Adidas. Indirect competitors, we have McDonald's and a local sushi restaurant. It doesn't fit in what it is the fast food industry. However, they do satisfy the need to get food. Let's see what will be like an example for your project of what a competitive analysis will kind of look like. You have your company and you have your competitor. And this competitor is going to be your direct competitor. So you can see what is your company profile compared with your competitors, your key competitive advantage, your target market, your market share, market strategy, all this kind of information. We will talk more about what I want for the project, but this is just like a place to give you an idea of what it should look like, your competitive analysis table. Okay? Not the colors. Don't pay attention to the colors. I want you to see like the segments, like the difference between company 1, competitor 1, etc. Okay, and now the most important, the key of our business, our customers. A customer is a person or organization that buys goods or services from a store or business. Let's learn some concepts. Okay, we have to break down what is a customer. The customer is always right. Everybody says this, but is it true? I don't think so. If you are all the time pleasing your customers, then maybe you will end up with a bunch of customers that are not your target market. You should focus on really wanting to please your target market, because maybe there are different kind of customers, right? So there are customers that get in a scope that they do not spend that much on you, and they criticize a lot about you. Why? Because they are not your target market. And if they are not your target market, there are ways to get rid of them that we will see on our strategic plans. Because when you get rid of them in a polite and strategic way, they'll go to your competitors and they will bother your competitors, and they will not hurt your brand or hurt your strategy or hurt your people, your personal, the persons that help you in the company. What customers and consumers. Okay, there's a difference between customers and consumers. Consumers are like the final line of a supply chain. So consumers are the one that actually going to get out money from their pocket and buy your product. Customers, they will buy your product to add some value and then sell it to end customers. Okay? And the customers can be studied. Customers and consumers, both of them, they can be studied. Customers are often grouped according to their demographics: age, race, sex, ethnicity, income level, and geographic location all go into customers' demographics profile. Knowing this things about the people who shop with a business builds up a picture of what it will be like your ideal customer or customer persona. This information helps companies approach the demographics where they are already strong and deepen the ties with loyal customers. Those are the ones we want, as well as reach out the wholly new demographic to cultivate a public where sales are weak. Because of that, creating a new base of customers for further expansion. It's just about like kind of segmenting and studying your customers. So the customer is always right. I already ditched this out. This is not true. If you try to do this, you will probably get broke. Get the company of your project. They will just disappear in a couple of years. So customer service is a magnificent job if it wasn't for all the customers. See what I see, what I'm trying to say here? Like, we have to take care of our people. Our people are our employees that work dealing directly with angry customers every day. If you do not have their back, then the average of actually a person that works on customer service is like 2 or 3 years before they change to another company. Basic behaviorism theory. This is like being polite, smile, like what basic behaviorism is like. You will get a positive action if you receive a positive action. So maybe a little bit of training to your personnel on how to treat them well, how to smile, how to say good evening, how to go ahead and make them feel comfortable, then the customer should react this way. Media is a bad customer service catapult. It is true, because I'm not talking about social media, because you can actually answer per se to whatever is attacking you. But I say like things like you cannot focus your entire marketing plan just on media. You have to, today, because of the demands of the market, you have to have some kind of contact, direct contact with your customers, answering comments, making histories on Instagram, responding to questions, making live videos. This can help in building your brand and